Now we're going to be taking the derivative of y, so y is equal to 3x to the power of a negative half plus 2x to the power of negative 2 plus 3x. Because all of these are polynomials, we can use the polynomial rule, which for y is equal to kx to the n, dy dx is equal to knx to the n minus 1. We're going to solve this in 3 different steps. So we're looking at the first one, the second step, and then a third one. Looking at the first part of our expressions, we take the derivative of 3x to the negative a half. So in which case our k is equal to 3 and our n is equal to negative 1 over 2. So then we take our rule into consideration and we end up with 3 times negative a half x to the negative a half minus 1. And we end up with 3 times negative a half x to the power of minus a half minus 1, which is going to give 3 times minus a half is going to give us minus 3 on 2 x. Now minus a half minus 1 is going to give us minus 3 on 2. And that solves for the first part of our function. Now looking at the derivative with respect to x of the second part of our function, so 2x to the minus 2. Our k is equal to 2 and our n is equal to minus 2. Following our rule gives us 2 times minus 2 x to the minus 2 minus 1. 2 times minus 2 is minus 4. X to the minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3. So that solves for the second part of our function. The third part of our function, so the derivative with respect to x of 3x is going to be equal to, solving for the third part of our equation, so the derivative with respect to x of 3x, our k is equal to 3 and our n is equal to 1, which gives us 3 times 1 x to the 1 minus 1, which is just going to be equal to 3. Combining all of these components together, dy dx is going to be equal to our first component, which is this part here. So minus 3 on 2x to the power of minus 3 on 2. Our second component, which is this part down here, minus 4x to the minus 3. And then finally our last component, which is this part here, which is just going to be a plus 3 on the end. So this dy dx is now our derivative of our original function with respect to x.